Hey everyone, this is DeLuSioNaL and welcome to DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. You might have noticed already on the channel that, if you haven't already looked, that I gave it a refreshing there. So I created all new graphics in After Effects with the collaboration of a friend who was very helpful with that. We actually based it off of this sign right here. I kind of fell in love with this sign and the way it looked, so what we did was I took a picture of it and then we retraced it in After Effects and basically animated it, and then kind of went with that theme and were inspired of the neon look. So I think it came out pretty good. You can actually see here, add a little banner here. But it came out great. It came out even better than I thought, and I'm still continuing to work on it, and we're going to probably have snazzier graphics. So, you know, making all the sound effects myself, the music and all that stuff. Coming up with a new package. So basically you'll probably notice a little difference here. I kind of redid the room a little bit. The reason being is, I'm going to point in this direction. On that wall, this whole area right here was basically flooded. It wasn't too bad, it was just a little seepage in the rug. The room that you see behind that is the laundry room, and what happened was the water heater's there, and the water heater went out. So I was very lucky that I just happened to come down, and I was like, why is my left sock wet when I'm in this area? And it turned out that there was just a little seepage happening. So I called you know, the plumber and then Surf Pro, and they kind of cleaned it up. So I had to move everything, like all on this side and whatnot. So when I put everything back, once everything was great, I mean, they did a great job. It's like nothing ever happened, and I mean, I have a brand new carpet here. So basically I decided, all right, let me start getting my arcade line up here. You know, I brought my soldering station downstairs. That way I can just work on chassis right there if I'm, like, you know, capping something and whatnot. The other thing, I set up a station, well, not really a station, but I have an LCD. I actually got a monitor that I may show you later on today that I picked up on Craigslist from a great guy. He was pretty awesome. He was into you know, emulators and stuff, and he was basically getting rid of a Sony professional editor's monitor, and I got it for a pretty decent price. So let's see. So over here, you know, I just wanted it to be, as soon as you come in, you just have a lineup of games. And I didn't want the first thing to see. Originally I was going to put the desk behind me, but I kind of wanted it to look like an arcade when you come down. So I decided to add all that stuff in that area there, and then I can kind of get my butt and get the super pack going. I'm going to put the graphics on it and stuff, and redo the control panel and joystick. And if you guys know where I can get a midway door, I'm actually looking for one. So, you know, I don't mind restoring it. It doesn't have to be in great shape. I just need the I would say the mechs there, because I'm going to replace the mechs with the AnyCoin, which is what takes tokens, coins, or whatever, and you know. And here's the other thing here. Let me go back to here. This is, I put a Fix It Felix out of order from John's Arcade. That's actually a computer monitor that's in there. I'm actually thinking of, I don't have the boards for this, because this was originally a Super Mario Brothers, and it had a Popeye bezel on there, and the great, I mean, it's in great shape, the Versus control panel. And it has the original buttons. I don't know if you could see. I mean, they're in really, really, really nice shape. You could see they're slightly taller than the rest. This one actually just has to be clean. That's why it's in like that. But yeah, it's in pretty decent shape. I have to just rebuild and lube up the control panel. It should be good to go. So I'm going to keep that original, and I want to get a Versus board in there so I can get the Universes board to kind of have it like be a multi-Universes. But in the meantime, what I'm thinking of doing just for now is probably just sticking a computer in there with MAME with all Versus games, just until I get that stuff going, and then, you know, eventually I'm going to paint it, and well, first I'll probably paint it and restore that, and then kind of just make it a Versus with that Versus board in there. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I just put that on there for now because I just placed the monitor in there. The Sanyo EZ, I believe, is it down here? I have a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, that might be, no, you know what that is? That's the, that's from my super pack. You can actually see if I zoom in here. You can see that thing has burn-in from, like, the pack board. And the other one is just a monitor I picked up. I mean, Craigslist has some pretty good deals. You can get monitors and parts really cheap. But for now, I actually toyed about toyed with the idea of maybe having a kind of like, I don't know if you've seen Multi-pac Reunion, but that has a 25-inch monitor in there, vertical. So I was actually thinking of doing something similar where I take a 21-inch CRT, you know, from a PC and kind of just make it a multi-pack by just kind of putting a really good version of MAME in there so you can't even tell. And then having a menu system where you can pick every single Pac-Man. And then I kind of like the notch on the side. That's kind of why I thought this cabinet would be a good candidate to restore. Because, you know, the Pac-Man, I'm going to go over here and show you. But the Pac-Man logo, if you Google it, you'll see it's a round Pac-Man here, and you have the mouth right here. And this is kind of where, you know, it just gives it a good look. So if you're going to make it a multi-pack, just make it look exactly like a super pack, and then inside will be just different games with the 21-inch monitor. And then, of course, I need to get a custom bezel, which I don't have anyway. And I have a guy who can reverse print a bezel that's custom made for me. So I'm still kind of torn. If you guys want to leave in the comments what I should do, but I could stick that 19-inch back in there with the burn-in, but I may have to just swap out the tube with something else. Or I can just MAME it for now. I mean, I do have a Multi-pac with a fast speed chip hack on it, so I do have an actual board I can put in there to make it a Multi-pac if I wanted to. But, you know, it does have the notch, so I cannot make it a Multi-pac. I probably have to make it a super pack. But still, just kind of tell me what you think I should do, because they've really gone a long way in MAME, you know, to get the emulation to look really good with the Pac-Man games and all the clones and all that stuff. So I might do that. I'm still kind of torn. But in the meantime, I really do got to finish that up. I just got to give it another coating of paint, sand it down, and then I'm just going to order the graphics from this guy that I know in Jersey, Joe Zabo. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's SZABO. I'll have another link in the description. And he does just some awesome custom work. You can just do anything you want. So I'm going to send them a color swatch, and he'll color match it for me, and then we'll just apply the whole full side art as opposed to stenciling. Because stenciling, I mean, I have the patience. I just don't have the place where I'm at now. It's kind of like a townhouse, and I don't really have the freedom to do all that stuff I used to do in my old house. So yeah, so I may do that for now, and I definitely want to get it done because that'd be great as a multi-pack. And you know, it's in pretty good shape. You can see the back door is original, and it's you can't really tell with the sliding, but it is a perfect match there. Once I it looks really light now, but once I get another couple coats, it'll be nice and dark. That's the back of the Thunderblade. Thunderblade has issues where I need to recap the monitor, so you know, that'll get done. I may have a video on that. You know, I still have the Vigo Lix arcade. I have the MAME arcade. The Arkanoid, I just picked up a monitor today, and I'll actually pause it in a minute and kind of put that in there, but it's a pretty cool thing. And then this here is the original one you saw on my channel that I had my nephew take, but they actually brought it back when they visited because his friends came over, man, and they there was a little crack in like the panel, I guess, or something was going on that they started peeling it, and they kind of destroyed it. It's kind of sad to see, you know. So I'm going to redo the graphics on that, and while I'm at it, we may just give it a freshening up with a different color to match his room. And, you know, of course, we have this. This is a big hit. Kids love it. It's running the original Xbox, but I'll give it a quick demo just really fast. So if I exit the game, I'm running the Executor mod chip in there. I must have done it maybe 10 to 15 years ago. It was a while ago. And, you know, it was just sitting collecting dust, so I said, why not toss it in there? And I have the Cades, and I'm running Avalanche right now, so it's a front end. So I have the emulators here. The emulators basically are all these that you see here. I have Daphne in there, I have Intellivision, Atom, Apple. So if I go back, I'm going to go to games. I have, you know, like, let's see, I'm going to select Dead or Alive 3. Boom, you go in, it loads, and works great. So, you know, I think I might leave it. I'm not really sure yet. I was going to make it a Steam machine. I'm definitely going to change out the buttons on that, and I'll have another video on that. I have a separate, an extra control panel that's already pre-drilled from factory, and I'm probably going to take that, and then I can show you guys how to kind of wire it up to an iPac, which I'm going to use on that one. So yeah, and let me see what else. Oh, right here, Pixels. I got this. I have a friend in the industry who, you know, he's an editor and he works on movies and stuff and has a lot of connections. And I've gone to premieres and stuff, you know, just through him, and it's been great. So, you know, he always sends me stuff he gets like on stuff he works on. So I'm not sure if he actually worked on Pixels, the movie, but he does know people who are associated with that. So that's right there is just a hooded sweatshirt that I thought looked kind of cool with the backdrop and stuff on the director's chair. And that's the bezel from, I just like displaying it, looks kind of cool, for that Donkey Kong that I had, well, the verses that you saw earlier that I want to make into the multi-verses, but it was kind of Frankenstein. I had Super Mario with that and then a versus panel. And here you can see I was starting construction on another Vigolix. I may continue that. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that. But the base is there, and you can see I started bondoing the bottom there. And, you know, the weather just caught up to me, so once it gets nicer out and I have some time, I'm probably going to just sand it up and finish it up. And I'll probably most definitely have a video on that, because a lot of you asked what I should do, you know, if I can kind of show how I put everything together. So, you know, that one I can kind of go in depth onto what I did, and I could show the pieces, because I have extras on that too. I have 2 extra sides that I had planned on doing another one. So I'll take those and kind of say, okay, you put this together with this, and then basically it looks like that when you're done, and then I'll continue and put all the plexi, which I have ordered. I have all the graphics and everything on that as well. And I guess that's it. There's not really much, but let me know if you like this layout. I'm pretty happy with it. That TV obviously is going to be towards, it's going to have my home theater on it. And this machine is probably going to get moved elsewhere. And I'm probably going to downsize the panel to a 2-player. But if I back up over here, you'll see that I'll have the couch in that corner there. Probably a sectional that will be really nice and comfy. And then I'll throw the surround speakers up there and on the side. But for now, you know, it's pretty cool. So